You're listening to TFP, the fan's perspective.
Can you dig it?
A little late on that one. I was late.
Slightly.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Pow! This is the fan's perspective. I am your host, charlietrix, and I'm here with my brother,
Remise. What's good, everybody?
and we got my man.
It's your boy jhanboom. What's poppin'?
What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? It is another beautiful... Oh, here, I'm messing everything up. It's another beautiful Saturday, and we are back with another episode. We got some amazing stories for you again.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody who's tuned in and the people who come back. I mean, we really appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
We have gotten some cool messages and comments. So to people, most people we followed up with, there's a couple people on there that we're gonna send a DM to real soon about coming onto the show. So keep sending us messages, talk to us. We appreciate it.
Send the news.
What do we have this week? So we're gonna get into some animal assassin stories this on today's show.
We always gotta.
We have some wild ones for this week. We got some future technology stuff going on, and you know we can't get through an episode without talking something political. So
Yeah, and also shrooms.
Oh, yeah, shrooms.
Nice
Shrooms are
shrooms.
available. Hey,
there's drugs on a few stories this week.
lots of
All
it.
right, well, let's get it popping.
All right. Boom, you're up.
Yeah, yo, what's poppin'? What's
Hold on,
poppin'?
let me do it again.
Drop that shit one more time.
There we go.
Yo, what's poppin', people? You know, it's your boy jhanboom back in the streets. Happy Saturday. You know, it's a cold Saturday, but we out here giving you some cold stories, man. And you know, we've been trying to develop a segment with putting a bunch of animal assassins together, you know, and I feel like it's only right to be equal on the ones that attempted to make the list, but unfortunately fell a little bit short. And the story that I'm going to bring to you is coming out from the tough streets of Rhode Island, where two hikers were attacked by a rabid-infested motherfucking coyote.
They were attacked by it?
They were attacked by it. The first hiker was attacked. He was attacked, and his dog as well was attacked by the coyote. They got away, but the second hiker wasn't with the shits. He was attacked, bit in the motherfucker lower leg area. He grabbed that coyote, strangled the motherfucker, held him down, and literally choked the coyote to death.
Wow.
BJJ
Now-
to the rescue.
Now, you know what I'm saying? I like these stories because we had one early in the week of a Russian man that went after a tiger after it took its dog, and he didn't make it out. So I'm happy that we are able to transition over to a story where someone makes it out, ready to go, and uses bare hands, no weapons. It was bare hands down to the coyote.
I will say that running after a tiger and fighting off a coyote.
The level of difficulty here.
I think we do have. We have two different levels of difficulty.
Easy.
So I'll put that
I'm
out
not
there.
gonna say easy. Medium difficulty versus like hellscape difficulty. You know, hard plus you beat the game on hard and get the extra additional.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, man.
Well, go ahead, Johnny. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was good. I like the input on the ass on it. So at the end of the day, did the coyote make the animal assassin? No. Did he attempt? Yes. Did he go down like a motherfucker? Yes, he did. But at the end of the day, shout out to that hiker man who took it like a champ and said, "Not today, motherfucker."
Nickname Road Runner.
I'm enjoying my trail.
All right, so I just want to make sure I got this clear. You are putting him up for animal assassins as an automatic fail?
As an automatic fail, man.
He
But
put himself up by trying to take out
but you
not
for
one,
the
but
attack?
two hikers and failing the first one and then also getting choked to death in the second. I've never heard of a coyote being choked to death in my life.
That's what I'm saying. This ain't regular
He
degular.
was
But
bad at being a coyote.
Did they give this coyote a name?
no name, just death, because that's exactly what he's at.
his
Right?
name.
Coyote. Dead coyote didn't make it.
Can you dig it?
Who else is on the didn't make it list?
Flacco the owl.
The owl that couldn't get laid.
Yeah.
Flacco the owl didn't make it. Somebody else didn't make it.
He flew the coop looking for love.
Oh, I
and
don't
came
think,
back like
the Newark bull didn't
The
make
Newark
it.
bull didn't make it. Yeah.
He's on the wait list.
Yeah.
If he escapes again, second trip to Newark, he gets added.
I seen an update on him. He's living way too lavish. He has fresh hay. Like, that bull is living right, man. Like,
Yeah, he's not meant for the assassins list. You know. That's all right though.
He's too bougie.
made it out of Newark though.
Yeah, good. Moving on up.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, what else? What else do we got?
All right, so I think these guys are probably up for the animal assassins. For real. This is from Vice. Here's the story. Pablo Escobar's invasive cocaine hippos are now apparently attacking people. The Colombian government has pledged millions to culling the hippos.
Jesus.
Yeah. The environmentally invasive descendants of 4 cocaine hippos from Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar's private zoo now have their eyes set on a new target: people.
Ooh.
Banana Republic stuff.
There have been reports of hippos invading a schoolyard as well as terrorizing local fishing communities, with some residents requiring hospital care after ferocious attacks, according to local media.
That's crazy.
Many are now worried that the hippos, which have since multiplied to a population of nearly 170 in 40 years, will become an even bigger threat if they continue to reproduce at the same speed. So, another article that's linked in this mentions that the population, if they don't slow it down, will reach over 1,000 hippos running around Colombia, potentially attacking people in about a decade by 2035.
Damn.
All from the 4 hippos that Pablo Escobar had.
So these hippos aren't really coked up.
No, they're
Not like the
descendants.
cocaine bear.
No, yeah, the cocaine. I think they're descendants of the cocaine hippo, though.
Okay,
because
gotcha.
that one hippo it's 1 male hippo and 3 female hippos. So he put in work.
Yeah, he did. So he's about to overpopulate. And these things are running wild. I guess you don't want to get into a fight, or imagine walking down the street and bumping into a hippo.
Yeah, it's over.
So we just had somebody mention that when he was hiking, he saw a bear, and that's got to be horrifying. I feel like a hippo might be even more terrifying than
I don't want nothing to do with
Because they
it.
got a little sprint to them. They got a little walk that they can
run
catch
like
you.
30 miles per hour.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not a
Big-ass
little
jaw.
thing. You're not outrunning them.
I know. So
That's
what we doing?
crazy. It's armored.
You're dying.
Nah.
They can't climb,
It's
right?
death.
Nah,
Can
you
you
can't.
can you climb a tree?
You could climb a tree.
Okay.
Walk around with pepper spray. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know if that would stop it or just piss it off,
Piss it
right?
off, right.
It's so crazy. So here's one statement.
Ooh,
Colombia's
shit.
environment minister, Susanna Muhammad, said they're in a race against time when it comes to the permanent environmental and ecosystem impacts. They're like destroying land. They're really bad. They're like the warthogs we were talking about.
Well, yeah, and also
Bigger, deadlier. They're like the biggest invasive species on the planet, probably.
and it's kind of like the goldfish too. They just tear up the ecosystem, wherever they go, because they eat everything in sight. I imagine that the hippos are just causing such a mess. So, but definitely in a sense of how deadly are these animals? I mean, they are up there, man. So violence is in their nature. So hippo definitely makes the animal assassin list.
Fuck
the
yeah.
cocaine hippo.
Fuck
cocaine hippos in
with
particular.
them bricks.
Descendants of Pablo Escobar's.
Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippo is officially added.
They're probably, he was extra, so they're probably special trained and everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
These are high IQ hippos.
These are like chipped up. They're like the sharks from Deep Blue Sea.
Exactly.
So anyway, moving right along. Actually, for this next piece, let's move into the future a little bit.
Let's go.
Computing?
Yeah, this one I wanted to talk about spatial computing. And it probably sounds a little weird, but right now we're in that moment where ChatGPT is taking over. People are on all sorts of AI for this and that, and in this very moment, those VR glasses are going nuts. Everybody's buying those. When you look at what they're doing, the functionality of them, it's amazing. And this is just the very beginning. So I started looking into that a little bit, and I heard about spatial computing and what it could mean and what it's going to lead to for us in the world of computers. So rather than just read off a bunch of stats and data information. I'm gonna put it into a little bit more of a story mode for you. So let me read it though, but it'll sound better. Imagine stepping into a world where your computer doesn't just sit on your desk, but surrounds you, interacting with you, with what you see and touch. This is the magic of spatial computing, a kind of wizardry that blends our physical world with our digital universe. It's like wearing a pair of magical glasses that lets you see and manipulate digital objects right in your living room or dining room, whether you're driving, blah blah blah. But this kind of makes me think of the movie Free Guy, in a sense. You know, right now those VR glasses are this massive thing you put on your face, but eventually they're gonna be small, just like this. But let me continue.
Word.
In this enchanted realm, your devices can understand and map the world around you, turning your surroundings into a playground for digital adventures. With the wave of a hand or a simple voice command, you can bring digital creations to life, interact with them, or even change them in real time. This isn't just about playing games or watching movies in a more immersive way. It's about changing how we learn, create, and connect with each other. Whether it's doctors performing surgery with augmented reality to see inside a patient,
okay,
architects walking through their buildings before they're even built, or you and your friends exploring virtual worlds together. Spatial computing is opening up doors to new worlds where the only limit is our imagination. So, you know, I hope that can put it into a little bit of perspective, but imagine sitting on your train ride to work and, you know, you just pop your glasses on and everything you can see is essentially your screen and what you're working off of. So I think the part about doctors performing surgery, you know, just imagine what that is. The doctor can be looking down at the body, seeing internally using the glasses for what he has to work on, and just glance up and have the journal or the written procedure in front of him that he can reference as it's going. You know, there's just so much there. And just
that note, actually, like so for medical schools, I know from going to conferences that there's always been different anatomy products for training, you know, medical students. And I know there was talk about an AR anatomy app, essentially. I don't know, like, I didn't look into it. It wasn't something that, like, we would have purchased, but it was something that was supposed to be, like, that sort of idea already, but not with goggles. It would just be through, like, an app like that. But I assume that would be something that would be very useful for if they had glasses like that and at that stage.
Yeah, I heard another guy talking about this as well, and he mentioned specifically about, you know, students or people, let's say a mechanic, working on a car engine, and you're looking at the engine and you can see all the parts and you can see that, you know, what you have to change or repair, how to do it right in front of you while you're working. So I think it's going to be great for learning, and I think it's going to change a lot of things. And with how fast paced technology moves, you know, that big helmet VR thing that everybody's got right now.
People look ridiculous.
Yeah, people do look silly.
Slow down a little bit.
But you know, it gave me like a little dystopian future vision of everybody wearing stupid headsets walking around if it gets affordable enough. Because if I could afford it, I'd probably buy it and try it.
Yeah, but that's like the flip phone version right now. You know, people those are going to be in your Gucci frames. Okay. In 10 years from now, that headset thing is going to be in your contact lens.
Oh, that's going to get smoked.
That's what I think.
Put it right in my vintage frames.
How expensive will that contact lens be?
Ooh,
will it be? Can the regular person afford it, or will it be like a
$4,000?
Do I really need $4,000 headset to walk around?
I think
get
this
pickpocketed way easier.
I think, you know, whatever the price point that your iPhone is at, maybe a little above that.
You could get it on a monthly plan.
Yeah,
I mean, this be one of those. Monthly plan too.
Makes sense. It does make sense like that.
The Amazon kind of subscription model.
Fees. And all the apps are also fees.
But yeah, so
replace your Netflix.
As far as that's why, you know, I heard the term spatial computing. I saw a couple clips from people talking about it, and I I just think that is going to be the wave of the future, and also something to look out for, maybe for investors, for people who are looking for places to put your stocks. But
Pow.
You didn't hear that from me. That's just a complete wild guess.
Can you dig it?
All right, what do we got?
Let's keep it in the future. Let's do Boom. You want to talk about the cloud seeding story?
Yo, let's get it going, man. It's your boy jhanboom back in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So, futuristic shit is what what the fuck is going on, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a story that I found very interesting. I was out there on Instagram and there was a little clip of this cloud seeding that out there in Dubai, they out there doing. So let me give you a little bit of info on it. So cloud seeding in the UAE is a strategy used by government to address water challenges in the country. Cloud seeding is also referred to as man-made precipitation and artificial rain making. Now out there in, hold on a second, man, because, this right here, right? So you got United Arab Emirates. That's what it is, because I didn't want to jack it up. And also, we're going to be live streaming with the motherfucking people, man. So I didn't want to mess that up, but that's exactly what it stands for. So scientists use cloud seeding technology to supplement the country's water insecurity, which stems from the extremely hot climate. They use weather radar to continuously monitor the atmosphere of the country. Forecasters and scientists have estimated that cloud seeding operations can enhance rainfall by as much as 30 to 35% in a clear atmosphere and up to 10 to 15% in the more humid atmosphere. This practice caused concerns regarding the impact on the environment because it's difficult to predict the long-term global implications that cloud seeding could possibly do. Now, check it out one time. The UAE has an arid climate with less than 100 millimeters per year of rainfall, a high evaporation rate of surface water, and a low groundwater recharge rate. Rainfall in the UAE has been fluctuating over the last few decades in winter season between December and March. So one story that I wanted to, as exciting as cloud seeding is, one particular event that took place on 2020 led them to overdo the cloud seeding, causing a major flood in one of the towns out there in Dubai called the Sharjah City. And the Sharjah City, they had massive amount of flooding that they wasn't ready for, causing them not to say, hey, cloud seeding is a bad thing, but to invest in US dollars an additional $136 million into cloud seeding and making sure that it doesn't happen again, because this 2020 flood in Sharjah City completely ruined a part of Dubai that they don't want to fuck around with. So very interesting situation going on out there. Cloud seeding, it's like they release salt and iodine into the cloud, and then what happens, it causes like a reaction that makes the cloud for it to rain faster, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And you can predict it, and people can literally get themselves ready, because they'll let you know, hey, between 3 and 5 is going to rain, it's going to stop at 7:30, right? So be ready.
Seeding later.
So Johnny, I really like this story, and I wanted to add on, right, that when you hear cloud seeding a lot in the US, it's tied to wild conspiracies, and it always bugged me out, because what Johnny's talking about is actually been around for a long time. Out there, it's like the goddamn desert, so they're very light on water. And cloud seeding has been a huge benefit for them. And they show you the whole process, like Johnny was saying. They know when to pick the right cloud, seed it, where they can drop rain. Obviously, like you were saying, in 2020, they overdid it and got way too much rainfall, but it just meant that it worked. So instead of backtracking off of it, they invested more money. And now they got it down like clockwork. And I mean, when you see the operation over there,
it's crazy.
It's sophisticated.
Importantly, very important to acknowledge that there was no crazy cover up, none of a conspiracy. They were just like,
We fucked up.
We fucked up. We need give us another $100 million. We'll fix that.
Yeah, they were like, sorry, people. We flooded out the town. That was us. We OD'd on this one.
Yeah.
And, you know, it wasn't this big thing. But it's just so funny that...
and that is how, like, people are so conspiratorial about science. When they screw up, they're usually like, here's where we screwed up. Here's how we fix it. Give us more funds. And, like, that's the whole scientific process. If something goes wrong, they experiment. Okay. We got this wrong. Let's fix it. That's the whole point. You don't need a crazy cover up. You need $130 million more dollars, and now everybody gets rain when they want and shit. Crazy.
Yeah, and recently another meteorologist invested another 20 mil into the research of into the program.
You could do a lot to help. I'm assuming with like hunger issues, you could create
That's
fertile plains where there aren't.
Absolutely. I mean, listen. We were talking about this, offline the other day, but, these places that are investing into technology and futuristic shit, there's a whole world out there of stuff that is way more advanced and cooler and closer to that Jetson shit that we used to see as kids. There's cities that are closer to that exist now. And,
right on.
We don't have too much of that here.
Better train systems all over the damn world. Why can't we get faster trains?
Yeah, bro.
Trains of one.
Why does the NJ app doesn't work, man? Sometimes I got to get to work.
All right. Well, cloud seeding, Johnny.
Pow.
Good job.
Can you dig it?
What you got?
Should I go into the AI stuff then?
Why not? We're doing technology. Let's stick with it a little bit.
All right, so let's stick on the brighter side of AI. I wanted to tell a story about a 2,000-year-old scroll.
You rock. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
You got it. A 2,000-year-old scroll that has been translated after all this time, that was buried during the explosion at Mount Vesuvius. So this is from Nature. It's in their news article. It's from February 5th if you want to look for it.
Pow.
First passages of rolled up Herculaneum scroll revealed. Researchers used artificial intelligence to decipher the text of 2,000-year-old charred papyrus scripts, unveiling musings on music and capers. Now, it's a Nature article, so it's very detailed. There's a lot to it, so I want to summarize it rather than read too many sections of it. But essentially, there was a scientist who has spent around 20 years with these scrolls. It was a library that was essentially buried, and I think they said like flash carbonized. There was a word for it, but it was carbonized and essentially covered. The papyrus scrolls were all damaged that way. And this scientist spent like 20 years working using technology to open them, to get the symbols translated, and to try and get at least to translate the symbols of it. And the next step was to get some type of experts to be able to figure out what those symbols meant, to turn it into actual translation that we could read, And they created something called the Vesuvius Challenge. So let me get the two names. What's it called? They can cut this part. Seals has been trying to read these concealed texts. No, I lost my spot. Either way. Oh, Nat Friedman. Here it is. Seals was approached by Silicon Valley entrepreneur Nat Friedman, who had become intrigued by the Herculaneum scrolls after watching a talk by Seals online. Friedman suggested opening a challenge to contestants. He donated $125,000 to launch the effort and raised hundreds of thousands more on Twitter, and Seals released his software along with high-resolution scans. So they basically did a public challenge. He released the scans of these papyri that are thousands of years old, and people worked together trying to translate it. And what they did for their competition was they gave out cash prizes for people that progressed the efforts to translate these scrolls.
Word.
So like the first person to translate any words, translated 5 words, they got like a cash prize. Then the next person who was able to translate a significant little section of it, they got a prize. And it culminates in 5% of one of the scrolls being translated, which doesn't sound too crazy, but it's enough to actually read that it's they believe it's one of the philosopher, Philodemus is his name, a guy named Philodemus.
Philodemus, huh?
And yeah, he's Philodemus. Yeah, bro. But yeah, he's got quotes about his philosophy and like senses and pleasures and things like that. And actually, what I was reading is he takes a shot at potentially the Stoics. They're not sure, but they'll be able to translate all this. So they've got, I think it was a huge amount of scrolls. They're slowly but surely going to translate, but it'll be faster and faster with AI, and we'll get to read a whole new section of ancient Greek texts that weren't available before, and I just think that's really cool. So the future is giving us a better glimpse of the past.
Yeah, because I want to find out what the symbolism of my chest is Chinese symbol, man. Because if it's something outrageous, it's gonna be a problem.
Right, we
man.
could probably plug that into an AI now.
Right on.
Does it light up or anything?
No. I just want to make sure that it doesn't say like "fuck you" or something. And I'm just walking around.
Yeah, Boom gets the glow like the Last Dragon.
Hey,
So you were telling me a little bit about this story earlier, and it is fascinating how the further we get into the future with technology, the more we can look at some of the stuff we thought about history and realize we were wrong, and then reanalyze and recalculate. And you know what's funny too? I was thinking about it. There has been so many updates since I went to school as a child. So just think about the information. The stuff kids are learning today about history is completely different than stuff that I learned.
And that was one of the stories I was telling you about, was a guy named Herodotus, who was a ancient Greek historian. So he was writing about history from his perception, but he would just take whatever any culture told him for certain. So like the Egyptians told him a pharaoh story of this great conqueror pharaoh that just never existed. But he got this one reference where he mentioned he saw a pillar for the pharaoh somewhere in like a random place in like Turkey that would make his empire really that big. And if you go, you could see the pillar where that carving is. And it was like, oh, Herodotus really did see something. There is a secret Egyptian pharaoh maybe. And they kept searching, but it turned out to be like a Hittite ruler's carving that Herodotus mistook. But that means 1,000 years ago, a historian wrote a historical text about 1,000 years before that, and he got something wrong, and that wrong fact traveled all through time so that we can still read that mistake and potentially make the same mistake if we didn't have crazy expertise and all these technology to translate things that are way destroyed. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I find it all fascinating. That's why I enjoy going back and forth between people like Mini Minuteman on YouTube's got an amazing channel, and then he probably won't like to hear me say this, but I'll also go to Graham Hancock to hear some more wild stories. Yeah,
just different angles on the story.
Wow,
and even if Hancock gets parts of the story wrong, to like that Mini Minuteman might say, correct them. What happens is I go and look up more of that story about those people. So I'll see the errors and learn something different, but I learned about a new culture of people.
I like it.
I like it as well.
You're listening to TFP, the fan's perspective.
Let's get into something a little different right now. Let's take a little spin into the political world. Remy's got a couple stories, and I definitely am going to chime in on these.
Yeah, we'll do one that pisses off Republicans and one that pisses off Democrats, starting with the MAGA crowd. So here's my story from CNN. Sean Hannity and right-wing media claimed the Biden crime family took millions in bribes.
Oh.
Their narrative just fell apart.
Come on.
CNN is fake news.
Yeah, right? Definitely to them on this one. The Biden crime family. It has been one of the most dominant narratives in right-wing media, and the GOP used endlessly to demonize President Joe Biden. But on Thursday, it imploded in spectacular fashion. So for those that don't know, Biden and his son Hunter are accused of engaging in an illicit $10 million bribery scheme to enrich themselves and sell out America.
What?
The tale, as it goes, claimed that an executive at the Ukrainian energy company Burisma paid for access to then Vice President Biden to improperly wield his influence and help squash an investigation led by a Ukrainian prosecutor into the company.
Oh.
Now, I think one side bar on that part of the story is that it was actually the national goal, and I think internationally this guy was recognized by multiple nations they need to get rid of him, but I may be off on that. It's not in this story. Anyway, MAGA media personalities like Sean Hannity quickly shifted into hyperdrive about this story last year when a supposedly highly credible FBI informant claimed to have smoking gun evidence of the conspiracy.
Whoa.
The emergence of a confidential FBI informant coursed through right-wing media, where talking heads and outlets spotlighted the claims as damning evidence of criminal wrongdoing.
Oh.
It spawned scores of articles, hundreds of Fox News segments. Republican lawmakers like James Comer and Jim Jordan, eager to bathe in the media spotlight, appeared on radio and television programs to stoke the conspiracy flames.
Shit's going down.
Bro, Sean Hannity had 85 segments in 2023 alone.
Damn.
Based on this damn story.
You went in.
Yup.
Yeah, this story, first of all, is insane, okay? It's been going on forever. I'm all for it. Like, investigate the stuff. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But every single person that they brought who was supposed to be the smoking gun, the crazy witness, even on Fox fucking News, they would constantly ask them and ask the senators, the congresspeople, everybody participating in this investigation, do you have any evidence? Simple question. Constantly, the people they brought in, no, didn't see anything, don't have any evidence, can't show anything to support.
So this guy was the evidence guy.
Yeah, this was the big one. And Comer he's the head of the committee. He's been the one that's like all over. We got to bring the Biden family down, the crime family, and now this is another flop in his face.
Well, here, let me get to that part, right?
Pow.
Here's the problem. The informant, Alexander Smirnov, made the whole story up, according to federal authorities on Thursday.
There you go.
He was arrested. They arrested the 43. They arrested the 43-year-old at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. It's crazy that Harry Reid already has an airport named after him.
Oh, man. He was in Vegas, too, spending $42,000
Maybe
not
it's a
in
different
Vegas.
Harry Reid. But anyway, special counsel David Weiss, who served as a Donald Trump-appointed U.S. attorney before assuming his current role, charged Smirnov with lying to the FBI and falsifying records. I want to repeat that. This guy was a Donald Trump-appointed U.S. attorney who charged Smirnov with lying to the FBI and falsifying records. Smirnov, an indictment said, provided false derogatory information about Biden to the law enforcement agency. His story to the FBI was a fabrication, an amalgam of otherwise unremarkable business meetings. He made the shit up, took things out of context and tried to tie together some crazy-ass conspiracy theory, and it got so far up that the head of the oversight committee, the chair of the oversight committee, was constantly waving it in everyone's face as proof of a Biden conspiracy that is now officially bullshit. Or at least, I'm sure this is part of the cover-up, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what the
come on now.
defense will be.
Yeah, who knows what
This
the hell
Donald
the defense is gonna
Trump-appointed
be.
lawyer is part of the cover-up now.
Oh, that's it? That's him right there? The battle of the red
this
ties
is
versus the blue
Comer.
ties.
This is fucking
That's Comer, yeah.
James Comer, oversight committee. Listen, this dude, what's his name? There's one guy who is a Florida congressman who is the best at this. He's the best when they're in court at throwing this in their face.
Pow.
And he's the best at getting under Comer's skin. Do you remember that guy's name? Moskowitz?
Is it?
Okay, he's
Yeah,
a thug.
Jared Moskowitz.
Jared Moskowitz.
Shout out to Jared Moskowitz.
Shout out to Jared Moskowitz. I need
fun.
to get a t-shirt with this guy's face on it or something because it is fantastic watching him make a mockery
He
of
trolls
these people.
James Comer.
Yeah, and now,
Let's go.
I saw him on an interview saying they need to investigate Comer and how long did he know that this guy was a fraud because they've kept pushing this narrative and it's cost money to investigate and do all this stuff. So
For sure.
Yeah, and resources. This is a committee, it's a congressional committee wasting
Going
time
down up there.
on some fabricated evidence and blowing it up to create a story. And it was
Fabricazy, man.
to me, it was very obviously for political aims, to try and get more of an advantage.
and let's make it clear, like we're not Biden fans over here. So
No, I'm about to shit on Biden in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. So, before you come at us and with your stupid comments about we don't give a shit about Biden, don't like the guy. But this is what it is. There's nothing here. You had nothing the whole time. No evidence, no evidence.
Right on.
You got evidence, nothing
Got
the
shit.
whole time. And now another one. This is the main guy now. So I hopefully this puts it to bed. But I doubt it.
It's crazy because that reminds me, they said they had evidence on me when I was over there in Hawthorne, New York at that other Asian place. That shit wasn't me, man. Just because a big black dude goes over there doesn't mean I strictly
racist.
To the ones over here by my facility. I'm not going to give the location because of that report that came out, but either which way, man, falsified all the time.
That's right.
So yeah, Biden is innocent. I guess.
It is what it is. Eat it up.
So that was
continuing
to go. This is going to start to
continue.
This is going to warp into pissing off Democrats, I think. But anyway, maybe not. They agree with me according to this poll. But due to these investigations into that stuff, we had Robert Hur, a attorney, release his investigative report where he said, yeah, we're not going to charge Biden with any wrongdoing over classified material. And I actually took the time to read some of that. I read the executive report. I read the president's response. I also looked for all the comments on memory. I, Control F and looked at all the references to memory because the whole defense of the White House was they were pissed, even though he was found innocent, because Robert Hur, in his report, added some speculative bits about how if a jury saw Joe Biden, they'd be like, that's a nice old man. He's very grandfatherly. And
he's forgetful.
He's probably forgetful. Doesn't have good memory, which pissed off the White House. They made a huge deal about it. And for the past week, we've had every major Democrat talking about how with it Joe Biden really is. And I just want to say it's not that big a deal to call him no offense, but at 81 years old, he is old. Sorry, that's just, no disrespect. I mean that as just the term to describe his age. It's up there.
Yes, go. Old as shit.
So here's the article. An overwhelming majority of Americans think Biden is too old for another term. This is an ABC News article. It's a ABC News Ipsos poll. According to the poll conducted using Ipsos Knowledge Panel, 86% of Americans think Biden, 81, is too old to serve another term as president.
Okay.
We're talking about somebody who will be 85 at the end of that term.
I don't disagree.
It makes sense for people to have a concern about his age, I think. Considering the alternative, I'm still go with this old one. But let's say this figure includes 59% of Americans who think both he and President Donald Trump, the Republican frontrunner, are too old, and 27% who think only Biden is too old. 62% of Americans think Trump, who is 77, is too old to serve as president. So just to make this clear, we got a fight between two old men who everybody agrees is too old to be president, except for a minority of the country doesn't recognize that these guys are probably too old to make it another 4 years in the high stress environment of being the United States president while all this shit is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, haven't any of you ever dealt with an angry old man who's not all there?
It's not good.
Could get a little crazy. You probably had that grandpa who snaps and loses it and says some crazy shit, does some crazy shit. Now imagine that guy being the president, because that's basically what we have here. I mean, the other thing to say is it isn't all about that, right? Because we just watched them wheeling out Dianne Feinstein's corpse to vote. And
that poor, it was come on, let her rest, guys.
If you think for a minute that they will not have Biden, in a coma with some kind of plug on his brain,
Weekend
telling you that they know what
scenario.
he wants.
There is a Weekend at Bernie's scenario at play.
Absolutely. Weekend at Bernie's all day with these guys. But, the bottom line is it's not all about that, because it's going to end up being the people around them, the administrations of both, that make those decisions, that are making decisions. Now, Biden's not the one pulling off all the bills and legislation and shit. He's getting all the credit, but there's a whole slew of people working on all that stuff.
And I'll say the reason why I definitely think that I'm selecting Biden over Trump for sure, first of all, and going to give Biden my vote is because he selected a labor secretary who has done a very good job on labor. And I think it's his FTC chair. He's had chairs and positions that have had a positive impact, I think, as far as moving things in the direction I think they should go. It's only in a handful of circumstances. In most circumstances, I think he doesn't do enough, or he doesn't do anything at all, or he moves us backwards as far as agreeing on all those immigration things in the bill and trying to run that as a way to attack Republicans.
Right on.
But just on a handful of things, Biden does the right decision that I don't trust the Republicans to ever do. So I will still vote for Biden. But I fully agree with anybody that has those concerns. It's crazy to me to try and deny that when somebody looks at someone who is 81, who is clearly slowed down from previous times we've seen them give speeches and responses, that, yeah, you can have that concern and be like, well, maybe he is too old. You should have that conversation. We should be able to have honest conversations about this stuff.
I think the main thing there is, for some people, Biden is the lesser of the two evils. And for other people, the whole issue going on with Israel is making them, they're looking at him as Genocide Joe, and it's an unforgivable thing. Which, I don't blame him. So,
not here to fight with anybody on that.
You feel how you feel.
How you feel is how you feel.
But on the lesser of two evil things, I definitely think Biden's the lesser of two evil. I think it's horrible to keep funding what's going on over there. But listen,
I don't think there's any changing that circumstance regardless.
At the end of the day, Biden and Trump's names are going to be on the ticket. I mean, that's the bottom line.
An 81-year-old and a 77-year-old.
Pow. Who's going
One guy might have dementia. One guy might have syphilitic rage. This is where we're at.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Biden and Trump.
Banana Republic stuff.
All right, you know what? Let's get away from that story because it makes me feel icky.
Business women love shrooms.
Yo, let's get involved, man. So, I just want to give a special shout out to all the ladies out there, man. They're doing the thing.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to the ladies. This is all the big bosses out there making it, for small business owners to executives, doing your yoga and all your good stuff, man. So it seems like I came across this article on the Wall Street Journal, which talks about how a lot of executive, big time, big boss women are out here taking shrooms and calling it the new red wine, the red wine cup. So what's going on is
shrooms are the new wine. I love it.
from different types of females, from a marketing executive in Los Angeles, some other small business owners, to a yoga instructor. They are all incorporating shrooms on their day-to-day activities. Some of them is helping them cope with stress. Some of them is advancing them, the executives, when they have to channel and look through a lot of resumes. It's helping them have the proper resume stand out when muscling through a bunch of hundreds of resumes. Others are helping it with stress, anxiety, all the good stuff when they're balancing out big jobs, 42 to 44 hour days. You know what I'm saying? That's 2 days back to back for the work. And they're using it on a day-to-day, small doses of it. Of course, you don't want to OD on it, but it's helping ladies advance and know the criteria that they're trying to do.
Johnny, these are high-powered, successful women who are
small business owners
who are microdosing, essentially.
Microdosing
to get through the day.
To get through the day.
To get through certain tasks of the day.
I've heard so much about microdosing. I've never tried it. I don't think I would, because everything I know about shrooms comes from my party days, and those were pretty wild. So I don't think I would.
Feels like, nah, I can't even comment on it. I don't know. Just feels like a waste.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, that's why
feels like a waste. You wasting the shrooms, man.
No, I get you, but that's for us dudes. We wouldn't. This is all females. You know what I'm saying? It most likely hits them a lot different.
That's almost.
I don't even
racist.
think that's what it is.
Yeah, no.
I just think it's that the purpose when you're taking it like on a psychedelic, I'm gonna trip, man. It's totally different from if you're gonna be like, let me take a little bit of shrooms to mark all these resumes and
there's a lot of people
make a selection. That's a very
there's a lot of people who talk about
of mushrooms,
microdosing shrooms and its positive effects.
A ton of positive reviews I've heard. So much respect.
And the ladies out there doing it, man, on a day to day.
So how long have you been microdosing, John?
I don't microdose too much, man. Actually, I don't microdose at all. You know what I'm saying? I need to be focused. There's a lot of shit I deal with in my job that it's just impossible to be.
But it sounds like the microdose is helping these ladies focus.
Helping the ladies, but the man probably not. You know what I'm saying? Because I think if I'm microdosing my job, I like to enjoy the benefits of what the drug is giving. You know what I'm saying? If I'm smoking some good weed, I don't want to be at work feeling that type of way. It triggers
no pressure.
Triggers a different sensation, man. You know what I'm saying? If I was just a regular nigga at the work, it'd be different.
Yeah,
too much responsibilities.
Yeah, that's how I feel a little bit. But again, we're talking about a different type of dosage. When I've never thought about just taking.
You know what I'm saying? Out there picking I hope you pick my resume after you microdose.
Psychedelic is supposed to send you to a different universe. Is how I was always.
It's all trippy to me, man.
Trippy world.
But listen, I don't know if you got anything else on deck that you want to get into or not.
I don't have it up or prepared, but we could discuss the LA building. You want to just skip that?
Well, let's save LA because we're not prepped for that one. Listen, it's been a wonderful episode. If you stuck around with us this long, we love you. Thank you. Hopefully by now you have liked, subscribed. Yeah. Check back. If we don't have full episodes up every week, we have them up every other week, and we're constantly putting out shorts and clips. You can find me on Instagram at charlietrix, TRIX, and I put other content up on there as well. Same name on TikTok.
For sure. We have to pay, jhanboom, JHAN_boom. You feel me? Get up in it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you sticking through the motherfucking episode. Happy Saturday, man. It's time for some yak.
Yep. And Remy, J4 Remy, J the number 4 and Remy. I'm on a couple of social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter. So,
alrighty.
Thanks for checking us out, fam.
Thank you for sticking around.
You're listening to TFP, the fan's perspective. You're listening to TFP, the fan's perspective.